blessing us today. I'm Joe Slater. I'm president of Southern Maryland Electric. It's my honor to welcome everyone and give some introductory comments and also introduce our comptrollers. So we're very fortunate to have here today. And most importantly, Steve and Shirley Mattingly. And I want to thank Steve and Shirley. They asked me to make introductory comments today. And I'm very honored to be serving that role. Before I begin, I want to recognize two very special people, Sharon Mattia and Greg Osborne. Sharon's at the state, and Greg runs the Charlotte Hall Veterans Home. Sharon is the state, really the landlord in this arrangement. And they just both do a really wonderful job. You walk onto this campus, you realize the compassion and the heart and the energy they put into this facility. It's warm, it's welcoming, the residents are happy, and they have a very, very tough challenge and a very important mission, and they execute it just in exemplary fashion. So thank you guys very, very much for what you do. Mr. Comptroller, thank you for coming to Southern Maryland again. You're a frequent visitor, and we certainly recognize that and appreciate you bringing you and your staff down here. And most importantly, to recognize Steve and Shirley with the William Donald Schaefer Award. Governor Schaefer was former mayor of Baltimore, governor, and comptroller, and a man who valued the people who make communities special and recognized people who put service above self. As William Donald Schaefer's successor, you have carried on this legacy by honoring individuals and organizations over the past 4 years with the People Helping People Award. We are honored to have you here at Comptroller. Steve and Shirley embody what it means to help people. In memory of their son Stephen, who was born with Down syndrome and diagnosed with leukemia, Steve and Shirley established Stevens Fund, a foundation that has raised tens of thousands of dollars for scholarships for those with disabilities and for those high school students who pursue degrees in special education instruction. It is my honor to partner with Steve and Shirley with the Charlotte Hall Rotary Club to raise money for this worthy cause each year. And you all know it's basket bingo. And you know who's in charge, Shirley Mattingly. And that's why it is so successful. The pain and grief of losing a child is something that I know all too well, but when another child is helped through scholarships and foundations that are made possible through the generosity of the community, their memories live on, and we share in that student's success. And that's the legacy that Steve and Shirley have produced. Before I invite Comptroller Francho to come up and tell you more great things about Steve and Shirley, I just want to thank you for all you do, and I feel blessed to be a friend of you both. It is now my honor to welcome Peter Francho, Comptroller of the State of Maryland.
Well, that was a fabulous comment, and Joe, thank you very much for what you do for the community and also your great company. And thank you for Tom Dennison, who works with you, who is a dear friend of mine, who nominated Steve and Shirley for this tremendous award. But let me be brutally honest. You know, much as we all revere Governor Schaefer, he had absolutely no use for me because I happened to run against him and was somehow able to get elected. And but when I was in the legislature, I did introduce then Governor Schaefer to my mother. And Mom was a Rosie riveter during World War II in the Sikorsky aircraft factory up in Connecticut. And when he learned that, he really connected with her because he was a World War II vet. And so he used to say, I don't have any use for that Francho, but I sure like his mother. So anyway, it's when I think about William Donald Schaefer, he's one of the icons. And we created this award to celebrate his legacy, which is the William Donald Schaefer Helping People Award. And I'm delighted to be down here in Charlotte Hall. I'm a veteran myself, and I appreciate all of the great work that the Hall does. I really appreciate the group in South Carolina that we have a tremendous business relationship with and who do such a great job. So thank you guys there for letting us be here. And Shirley and Stephen, you are two extraordinary individuals. And rest assured, there are people like you all over the state of Maryland. And rarely do they get recognized. So just want to make sure you know that you're part of an army of people around the state who reach out with good values and help people. And the state of Maryland can never do it. You know, we're a great state. I love Maryland. But we're not set up to do the kind of work that you are doing as represented by why we're down here today. So Joe mentioned some of Governor Schaefer's career, and he had this legendary do it now approach. He used to meet with his staff and tell them that at the staff meeting that his car had gone through a pothole up in Baltimore on the way to the meeting and it needed to be fixed, and they would all jump to it and say, absolutely, what's the address? And he'd say, no, 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 you guys go out and find it. And his theory was that you know, looking for it, and I'm sure there are a lot of potholes up there. But the point that Schaefer had was that, look, we have a responsibility to the community to take care of it. And he also particularly liked the little guy, who most people would not pay attention to. If any panhandler came up to him in the street and said, you know, give me some money, Schaefer would not walk by. He'd pull his wallet out, and he would give the person $5. And all of his staff would say, oh, no, no, you don't have to do that, Governor. And he would say, yeah, I do. There, but for fortune, any of us could be in this situation. So hats off to Governor Schaefer. If you ever go to see his, where his resting spot on his memorial, he has nothing about being governor or being mayor of Baltimore or being comptroller. He has two words: he cared. And that's how he defined his legacy of public service. And frankly, I think those two words, he cared, represent what Shirley and Steve have done, particularly the commitment to helping people with mental disabilities, and the fact that you're able to honor your son's life through serving others. So I know that Stephen Jr. Brought you great joy, but also a lot of heartbreak and sadness over the loss of Stephen Jr. But now you're devoting time and energy and love to helping others with disabilities and supporting worthy programs and causes. And you, I know, enlist the help of terrific organizations like the Rotary Club and countless other community members. But your organization, Stevens Fund, gives financial support to the Special Olympics, to ARC, to helping students go to college through scholarship programs. And because of it, Stephen Jr.'s memory lives on. And it's amazing work that has been accomplished over the past 17 years. Lives have been changed for the better thanks to this couple's passion and commitment to helping others. And therefore, in Stephen Jr.'s memory, we honor this amazing couple for their selfless dedication and willingness to make this community stronger and enrich the lives of others. And what if Johnny Wood, the great former delegate, could come up, and Joe, come on up also. Tom, come up, as you nominated this wonderful couple. And it gives me great pleasure. Let's see, do I have the actual thing? Okay, good, yes. Steve and Shirley, come on up, please. And let me present on behalf of the great state of Maryland. Are there other elected officials here? Who's here it is? Elected officials to Stephen and Shirley Bell Schaefer Helping People Award for St. Mary's County. In recognition of founding Stevens Fund in memory of your late son to raise money for scholarships, to benefit area high school graduates, and for contributions to local disability organizations. with my heartfelt appreciation for your selfless and dedicated efforts. Best wishes for continued success. Presented this 24th day of May, 2016. Yep. Well, I think it's kind of cool. Yep. And well-deserved. And Shirley, maybe you could say a word about how I can get on your fundraising mailing list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What a sponsor pass.
I'm good at that. I like to ask people for money. They either say yes or no, and then I just move forward.
But Stephen and Shirley, if you want to say a word about Stephen Jr. or about what you think you've accomplished, we're on the great.
You know, I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'm going to let Steve talk, that we could not do what we do without everyone in this room, our family, our friends, our community, our sponsors that we have had for the last 17 years, over and over each year. Charlotte Hall Rotary Club, and just the community, their overwhelming generosity is just heartfelt.
Yeah, I would just like to, I mean, you're really spot on with your comments that when Stephen passed, we couldn't let the memory go with him. We had to keep it, and that's how this all started. And when I think of this sunny day, I just got to tell you, Stephen's favorite phrase was, "Sunny day, Dad, sunny day." And that's what he loved. And he was known as a little cowboy, which he on his stone it says Heaven's Little Cowboy, which we all know he's in heaven. And I just I wish you all could have known him. For the ones that didn't, I know the family obviously remembers him very, very well. He was a unique little human being. And it wasn't about his disabilities. It never was. It was all about his amazing abilities. I mean, he was a child full of love, and you felt it whenever you were around him. And it just so happened over the weekend, I came across this article, and it's amazing. It's 10 years old, and it was written by the local paper. And it says Stephen's Fund makes days sunnier for disabled children. And this was a bicycle we awarded to a young man who had autism back in 2007. But the article really got to me because it's exactly the way I feel today, 17 years later. You know, it's all, you know, it goes back to the greatest joys can be your greatest sorrow. And I think that's what happened, you know. And luckily we were able to turn that sorrow into something good with the help of all our family, friends, and community. It's all about you guys at this point. So thank you all very much.
And you think it was easy producing that sunny weather? No.
It's a hot hour.
But Johnny, thank you for being here. And we have two other, Teresa Brannigan and Beverly Stickles, who are here from the Hospice of St. Mary's and the Cedar Lane Senior Living Center, who were previous award winners. And when I talk about a community of people that care, that's what I'm talking about. And literally, there are thousands of people like you guys, Shirley and Steve, around the state. And we are just forever grateful. And I'm delighted that you, the paper's here, because you deserve recognition. And your taxes don't go up to pay for it while we all have it. Johnny, say a word if you would.
Well, first off, I just want to say to Shirley and Steve, they need to be commended for the job that they've done over the last 17, 18 years or whatever. It's always, when you have somebody like that, it's always easy to kind of, after time, just walk away from what you have. And the people, and that's one of the things about, I think, that's all over the state, but in St. Mary's County, there's so much of helping other people and see what you said about Brother Don, recently Sparky gave him an individual $5. Well, there are a lot of people in Earthstown that do the same thing, and they have to be admired for what they do. And, you know, it's just great. But I just want to tell you a little bit about Peter here.
Tom, don't you want to say something?
It's not bad. Back in 1987, Peter and myself went to Naples together. Now, I'm an old country boy from down in Southborough, you know, things were more conservative and whatever. He's a city boy, I guess you could call it, out of Montgomery County, you know. Hey, give it all to him. But you know, honestly, it was after a little while when he first came, and we got to be, I think, great friends. Even though he was, like I say, far left, and I was to the right, you know, and all. There were a lot of stuff we didn't agree on. But we were friends, we could talk to each other, and communicate with each other a little bit, and all. And to this day, when he got to be treasurer, controller, and all, he's done a great job. And I'll say this, there's a different Peter today than it was.
Johnny calls me a recovering legislator.
And I remember one day, I think it was, and one of my good colleagues out of Baltimore County, Sonny May.
Yeah.
We're walking from the chambers back over to the office building, and we ran in the lawyer's mall, you know, and he came along and he says, can we get a picture taken of you two? He wanted, you know, and I said, yeah, we can do it, as long as you promise you will not put it in the paper or put it out there where everybody could see. Because Sonny was like myself, he was a little on the conservative side too, and that wouldn't have gone over too well back then. But Peter, you know, I just want to say thank you, because what you're doing is something that needs to be done. People need to be thankful for what they do, because a lot of times people just kind of take things for granted, you know, and what you have, you've done a good job. So,
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
That's praise from the master. And recognize maybe Tom Dennison can say a word, because he nominated the Mattingleys and helped us, and what a great recommendation.
Well, I'll be very brief and just say that there's no better example of helping people and putting service above self than these two individuals right here. I'm very proud to work with them in the Charlotte Hall Rotary, and it is an honor to make the nomination, Mr. Comptroller. Thank you to your staff for the work that they put together and making it happen. So, and thank you very much, and thanks everybody for coming.
Yes,
This is
thank
great.
you.
Yep.
One final thing, and I should have said this at the very beginning. We all know that have been associated with Stevens Fund, where the backbone is.
Yeah.
Where the taskmaster is. And it's standing to the left of me. I have no choice. I gotta do what I gotta do. But I also want to thank a lot of these guys over here, my brothers and sisters. I want to thank them for coming, my Uncle Evelyn, and then my staff, and then my Rotarians. Thank you all for coming. Fabulous.
Thank you.
So we're